Groovy Flashback, 16 iconic 1970s images that defined a generation. Let's take a trip down memory lane. Were you born in or before the 70s? I was born in the summer of '74. Buckle up and remember the time. Joan Jett at Home in LA, 1977. The 1970s are a decade that remains a nostalgic time capsule for those who lived through it. This era is a time of immense change, progress, and innovation. Come along as we explore some of the most memorable and impactful aspects of the 1970s. From the galactic impact of Star Wars to the flamboyant rock band Kiss, we'll take a journey back in time to relive some of the most notable cultural phenomena of the era. We'll also delve into the world of groovy cars and the gas crisis that shaped the automotive industry, as well as explore the unique architecture that defined the era. Whether you're a 70s kid who remembers these times fondly or simply curious about the past, this video offers a glimpse into a vibrant and iconic era. So, join us as we explore the sights, sounds, and styles of the 1970s. Whether you're looking to relive old memories or discover something new, this article has something for everyone. Continue watching to discover the fascinating stories and cultural touchstones that defined a generation. Joan Jett was a punk rock pioneer who, in 1977, had just released her first solo album, Bad Reputation. She was living in Los Angeles at the time and making waves with her iconic style. Her look was a combination of glam rock, leather jackets, and ripped denim that embodied the spirit of the rebellious 70s. During this period, she also starred in the cult classic movie The Runaways, which featured her version of Cherry Bomb as its theme song. Despite being relatively unknown, Joan Jett quickly became an icon for teenage girls everywhere and is still celebrated today as one of the most influential women in rock and roll history. The luxuries of flying in the past in a Qantas Airways 747 Upper Deck, 1971. In 1971, Qantas Airways took luxury flight to a whole new level. Travelers who had the privilege of flying in the upper deck of their 747 jetliner were treated to an experience that was truly unforgettable. Passengers could recline in comfortable leather seats and enjoy first-class amenities like fine dining and complimentary drinks. They could even watch classic films like The Godfather or Chinatown on the plane's onboard entertainment system. In addition, passengers could take advantage of the spacious cabin and look out over stunning views of the clouds below. It was a time when air travel meant something special, and those lucky enough to fly with Qantas Airways in 1971 got to experience it firsthand. The Luigi Colony Office Chair, 1970. The iconic Luigi Colony Office Chair, released in 1970, is an instantly recognizable piece of furniture. Its design was revolutionary for its time. The curved shape and bright colors were a far cry from the traditional boxy chairs that had been popular up until then. The chair was designed by Italian designer Luigi Colony, who drew inspiration from his favorite films like 2001, A Space Odyssey, and A Fantastic Voyage. Not only did this chair make waves in the design world, but it also became a symbol of modernity and sophistication. Jodie Foster during a visit to London to promote the film Bugsy Malone, 1976. A young Jodie Foster was captured by photographer Terry O'Neill during a visit to London in 1976 to promote her film Bugsy Malone. Foster was only 13 years old at the time but had already been acting for several years, including roles in films like Taxi Driver and Freaky Friday. O'Neill's photograph captures the innocence and youthfulness of Foster during this early stage of her career. The Radio Shack TRS-80 microcomputer system. The Radio Shack TRS-80 microcomputer system was a revolutionary piece of technology when it first debuted in 1977. It was the first mass-marketed, fully assembled computer system and made computing accessible to everyone. The sleek black design featured an 8-bit processor, 4 kilobytes RAM, and a built-in cassette drive for storage. Its popularity skyrocketed after its appearance in the hit movie A War Games in 1983, which helped launch the personal computer revolution. Today, the TRS-80 is still remembered fondly by tech enthusiasts as one of the most important computers ever created. Carly Simon, London, 1972. Carly Simon's career was in full swing when she arrived in London in 1972. The singer-songwriter had already released her second album, Anticipation, and the title track became a top 10 hit across Europe. That same year, Carly starred in the film adaptation of The Heart is a Lonely Hunter alongside Alan Arkin and Sandra Locke. Her performance earned her an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. As one of the most celebrated female artists of the decade, Carly enjoyed immense success while performing at iconic venues such as the Royal Albert Hall and Wembley Stadium. Her time in London marked a defining moment in her career that continues to influence generations of fans today. 1977 ad for Shamrock Shakes at McDonald's. In 1977, McDonald's introduced the Shamrock Shake to their menu, and it quickly became a beloved St. Patrick's Day tradition. This creamy and minty shake has been delighting customers for over 40 years now with its nostalgic flavor that brings back fond memories of childhood. It was first released in 1970 as part of McDonald's St. Patrick's Day Parade promotion and featured in the movie McDonaldland commercials throughout the 70s. Over the decades, this iconic treat continues to bring joy to customers every March. Get your hands on one before they're gone, you won't regret it. Star Wars Bedroom, 1978. In 1978, a Star Wars bedroom was the dream of any kid who wanted to be a part of George Lucas's intergalactic adventure. From the walls covered in posters of Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia to the bedspread with iconic images from Star Wars, A New Hope, this room was every fan's paradise. The X-Wing fighter model on the dresser, the action figures lined up along the windowsill, and the glow of the lightsabers hung above the bed all made it feel like you were right there in that galaxy far, far away. It was the perfect place for children to escape into their own world of fantasy and adventure, just like the characters they saw on screen. Kiss fans at a concert in Buffalo, New York, 1978. Kiss fans in Buffalo, New York were treated to a night of rock and roll history when the band made their stop in 1978. The energy was electric as concert-goers crowded into the auditorium with faces painted in homage to the iconic band. Fans sang along to classics like Rock and Roll All Night and Detroit Rock City, while those who had seen Kiss on the big screen during their 1975 film Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park cheered for their favorite characters. It was an unforgettable experience that left everyone energized by the power of music. Sunset Strip in California, 1979. The Sunset Strip in 1979 was a wild and vibrant place, full of energy, music, and fashion. It was the era of Saturday Night Fever and Grease when disco and rock were all the rage. Along the famous strip, you could find iconic venues like the Roxy Theater, Whiskey A Go-Go, and the Rainbow Bar and Grill, which hosted legendary acts such as Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix. People from all walks of life flocked to the area for its bright lights and dance clubs, making it an exciting destination for those looking to experience something truly unique. Whether you wanted to catch a show or just soak up the atmosphere, there was no shortage of things to do on the Sunset Strip in 1979. Women's Strike for Equality, August 26, 1970. On August 26, 1970, women across the United States took to the streets in a show of solidarity and support for equal rights. Led by the National Organization for Women, NOW, thousands of demonstrators gathered in New York City's Fifth Avenue to march in what was later dubbed the Women's Strike for Equality. The event marked an important milestone in the fight for gender equality, inspiring iconic films such as Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore and 9 to 5 that depicted working women fighting against sexism and inequality. The strike also served as a reminder of the power of collective action, showing how ordinary people can come together to make real change. San Francisco, Lombard Street, 1975. San Francisco's Lombard Street in 1975 was a vibrant and bustling street full of life. Tourists flocked to the iconic winding road lined with its bright flower beds, while locals filled the sidewalks and cafes. The summer sun shone down on the city as it played host to classic films like The Conversation and A One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, both of which were filmed along the famous street. It was a time of great change for San Francisco, when hippies and punks alike could be found mingling around the corner stores, and music from the likes of Jefferson Airplane and Janis Joplin echoed through the streets. There was an energy that pulsed through the air, one of hope, freedom, and creativity, making Lombard Street in 1975 a truly special place. Enjoying cocktails in the swinging 70s. The 1970s were a time of glamour, glitz and good times. People across the world enjoyed their cocktails in bars and lounges that oozed with sophistication. It was a decade often depicted in movies such as Saturday Night Fever and Shampoo. Music from the era still resonates today. Disco classics like Donna Summer's I Feel Love or the Bee Gees' Stayin' Alive were soundtracks to nights out on the town when people dressed up to enjoy drinks and conversation at chic venues. The 70s were a time of liberation and exploration where people could let loose and be who they wanted to be. Sissy Spacek on the set of A Carrie, 1976. Sissy Spacek made her big-screen debut in the 1976 horror classic, Carrie, and it's easy to see why she was chosen for the role. Her natural talent and unique charm captivated audiences as soon as she stepped onto the set. She brought an innocence and vulnerability to the character that made her a household name overnight. Even after 4 decades, Spacek continues to be one of Hollywood's most beloved stars. Her performance in Carrie remains iconic and is considered by many to be one of the best performances of all time. Taco Bell, 1973. Taco Bell has been a staple of American culture since its founding in 1973. The fast food chain quickly became a hit with young people who were drawn to the restaurant's inexpensive and delicious Mexican-inspired cuisine. From crunchy tacos to cheesy quesadillas, Taco Bell satisfied cravings for something different from traditional hamburgers and fries. In fact, it was so popular that it inspired an entire genre of movies like Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke, 1978, and Geast Times at Ridgemont High, 1982. With over 7,000 locations around the world, Taco Bell continues to be a favorite spot for those looking for a tasty bite on the go. Venturo House is a prefabricated house designed by Finnish architect Matti Suurinen in 1971. Venturo House is a revolutionary piece of architecture that has stood the test of time since it was designed by Finnish architect Matti Suurinen in 1971. This prefabricated house, also known as Futuro or UFO House, is an iconic structure that looks like something out of a science fiction movie. Its unique design and bright colors make it stand out from other buildings on the landscape, while its round shape allows for maximum space efficiency. It's no surprise then that Venturo House has been featured in movies such as The Spy Who Loved Me, 1977, and Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, 1999. With its eye-catching design and futuristic aesthetic, Venturo House continues to captivate viewers around the world. Thanks for watching. This was a pleasure to make and brought back some memories, and then there was some I have no clue about. Do you remember any of these, or are there some you want to share? Leave a comment. See ya in the next one. Peace.